after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the State of Illinois.
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Alderman
of the office of Alderman,
of the City of Polo
City of Polo,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Sir.
And Beth Sundman. Raise your right hand, please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Alderwoman
of the office of Alderwoman
of the City of Polo
of the City of Polo
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
You want to sign these, Jack, and we can
Yep.
have them all signing.
That would be fun.
You want a picture?
Yeah.
There we go.
I don't know.
Welcome to our fix that picture thing, yeah?
Oh.
Not this one, I'm saying you can send one there. The photo with the election.
Yeah, sure.
You said, put it right out there.
Why don't we do it right out
Right
there?
out there, okay.
Right
Sit
up
out front. I gotta go with that.
Boy, someday.
Are you really?
You got it with the color?
Oh, good. Thanks, come back.
Oh, thanks.
You need a place to sit down?
I'll go sign these and bring these back to you then.
Sure, that'd be great, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
No, he has
Thank you, Judge.
other one.
Oh, you're welcome.
Now, oh yeah, she already.
Moving on to new business. A, consideration and possible action on my 2021 or 21-22 appointments. You have the appointments in front of you. They all would be the same, except for I'm withdrawing the appointment for Brian Diaz as patrolman. Any discussion on this? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve my appointments as submitted.
Second.
Motion made by Keith and seconded by Justin. Would you take roll, please, Sydney?
Alderman Chestnut,
Yes.
Alderman Sanders,
No.
Alderwoman Sundman,
Yes.
Alderman Schoen,
No.
Alderman Grove,
Yes.
Alderman Busser.
Yes.
Thank you, the motion carried.
B, consideration of possible action on the 21-22 City of Polo service rates.
I just make a mention that I have not scheduled the zoning board meeting for them to review these. We'll have to pass these, and then once the zoning board meets and makes their recommendations, back to the council, and you guys can approve or deny their recommendations. So just so we have something going forward until that gets done.
So do we have to make anything right now?
They'll have to be approved so that we know what to charge right now in case things come up,
Okay.
but they are possibly subject to change after the zoning.
This will.
The zoning board has to go through them.
Yeah. Doesn't really have to be.
You don't have to approve.
Or you can do them.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the service rates for the 21-22, years 21-22.
So move.
Motion made by Randy and seconded by DJ. All those in favor signify with aye. Pose same sign. Service rates are approved. Presentation of the liquor commissioner Knapp's liquor license issued. I've signed the liquor license. They have been delivered. They have been charged for the liquor licenses for this time period.
Oh.
Do we need to do any
I
more?
just wanted to point something out. I don't know if anybody noticed this, but you do have 5 Class A licenses available and only 4 are being utilized right now. And you guys usually don't like to have open ones. And then we never removed the Class D that we put on for that business that was planning on opening. So we have a Class D open as well. So if you guys want to leave them, or you guys can do an ordinance change to remove them.
We want to take them off, don't we?
Yep.
We take them
No,
off
we
as
can't
so-
deny them.
in case somebody came to ask for a liquor license and we had no reason why not to, we would have to issue them a liquor license. If we take them off the books, if somebody comes and we feel that it's apropos, then we can go ahead and add another license back to the books. But even with the cost of the ordinance, I think it's a safe endeavor for us because it protects us from having to give one, say a gaming that didn't have any dining or something would come and we didn't really want to give them one. We wouldn't have the right to refuse them if we had one available. So we'll have time to go ahead and if everybody's on board with that, write the ordinance and then go from there.
A by 1 and 11 by D.
Thank you. D, consideration possible action on purchasing a new police vehicle. Chief?
We've been fighting with, repairs. Basically, trying to put it, we're looking for the opportunity to replace that vehicle with Dodge Durango police vehicle. With a small wheelbase car like that, all-wheel drive car. Some of the things that we've had with the Durango are officers to be a little bit more safe, protected as far as their inmate transportation and stuff. This one will have plastic back seat with safety seatbelt that actually the officer is not reaching across the rescue to seatbelt that individual and there'd be full right to the doorway down, so there's no officer safety issue as far as he coming in contact with the arrestee. We just been having a lot of issues with that. That's why I'm bringing this report. I did not pursue a vehicle last year. Thought that we go further with the Charger, and again, we had months down with it and facing issues. So that's why I'm presenting this.
Did we get was there some sort of grant involved here?
We were unable to get a grant because the grant process takes so long. The USDA grant had been started 2 years ago, but it would have had to been restarted for this purchase, and it takes about 9 months just to get that particular grant.
We were ready to replace it for a while, but
But this is- yeah.
we put it off because of the Tahoe,
There you
right?
go. I mean, we have been saving the money too for.
Yeah.
It's just instead of having the aid of the,
In the schedule that
Actually,
Mayor
that's
Scholl
good.
had set up back then, we have passed that time by how long?
at least a year.
A year?
It was brought to my last year that this had to do place. I said, well, we put so much into it. Let's just see how this thing, acts, because at that time, we believed that we just had, I think it was $5,000, I can't remember, dollars worth of work put into it. Most of that was covered under a warranty, but, I was hoping that would have remedied the situation. We just continued to have issues with it.
The only thing I got to say is those two pickups have been bulletproof.
We did, yeah.
I don't
Rebuilt the
know.
one in-
I don't know why we don't stick with the pickup thing. That Durango's an unproven deal. And
The departments that I talked to love them. They haven't had any issues with them. Dixon has one on, or Dixon has one, two on theirs, on their fleet, which they're actually going to be getting rid of only because they're looking to get in a lease set up with, Tahoe. We can't afford the Tahoes. But the inside storage capabilities of the Durango will be huge compared to the cold storage of the trucks themselves too. The trucks, all that dust gets on whatever materials you keep in there. There's only so much you can keep in the cab. We have our spike strips, we have our duty rifles, we have a lot of equipment that we do store in there, and it would actually be, that's an investment in itself, but to keep that in the cold storage covered with dust, the officers are constantly pulling that out and cleaning that up. So, plus, I would like to see a little variety with our police force rather than somebody just driving into Polo and, oh, if you see a Dodge, it's Polo, please. At least we would have it mixed up.
How's personal transport work with the trucks? I've never noticed. Do you understand?
So they're four-door cabs. The black truck is set up with a single prisoner, I guess you would say, partitioned off where it's being allowed for transport. The other silver truck is the full back seat, which in time I would actually like to get that and just put a divider in there. Like, I don't like the idea of somebody being transported and being able to be behind the officer that's driving. There is a cage, but, it's always been on my mind as far as which is why this Durango will be built.
And it's a police package,
It
correct?
is a police package, yes, sir.
Price point wise, it's very similar to what the ramps are coming in. It's just a couple thousand difference there. Very close. There's a different profile, a little bit of variety. Change up identification.
Will this be an outright purchase or is it the
We
lease
would
with?
do a lease with the
lease
Exchange
purchase,
State
yeah,
Bank.
like-
Mhm.
yeah, okay.
But, you end up getting a new quote or not yet?
Yep.
Oh,
They have been around in the police package for several years. There are several
well, that Charger was a police package too,
Yeah,
made by the same company.
That was that's prestige.
It's also the company that the trucks are.
I know, I understand. I was here for the Impalas too.
the quote that's in your packet does not include the, did you say plastic?
So it's the
Back
poly
seat.
plastic seat, also puts the roll cage into the back of the vehicle, plus the steel partition. Part of that kit is also window protectors from the inside. The windows cannot be kicked out. It also has like I always talked about earlier, the seat belt that attaches at the doorway and not across the passenger, so it's used with safety. With the back seat being swapped out for the plastic full basement prisoner transport seat with smart belt system, it comes $40,403.
Is it a black one?
So be so.
Be silver? Ghost letters?
Silver with smart. Yeah.
Sydney, where's our budget at as far as what we wanted for?
Well, we levy for a lease payment of $12,000 a year. And I spoke with Exchange State Bank and they were perfectly happy with that amount a year. So it'd be about a little over a 3-year payment plan. Well, for almost, yeah.
How many years?
So I believe the rotation time is every 4 years.
Not too long ago.
Purchase a new vehicle every year.
Every other.
Every other.
Yeah, you're the one that changed it to.
And
I believe the longevity of vehicle on the fleet at that time was 4 years.
we just the Tahoe 2 years ago almost.
It was purchased 2 years ago and it was
We're making payments on that?
No, the Tahoe was
No,
out.
not the Tahoe.
Oh, we would be making payments on this new vehicle, yes.
What's the interest on that?
I think he said he couldn't tell me without meeting with the board that would make that decision, but he felt it would be between 2 and 3%.
We have the money, why don't we just buy it?
Because we levy for that payment every year. That's the only reason
But
why
we
I
have
think.
4 vehicles. We're gonna be rotating every how often? Every 2 years. So
We would overlap a payment.
When you say levy, you
borrow money when we
just
have
raise the
it.
taxes.
Doesn't make sense.
No, we have that allotment every year. It doesn't mean raise the tax. It's just a category that we levy for every year.
Extra mileage and time on that.
Oh, I don't have a problem with that at all. What my thing is, why would we borrow money, pay interest on something we have to? That's always been my thing.
The only thing that I can see is in the future, if you have to then levy for that, you know, you're limited at 105%. And without going through a P-TEL hearing, this at least keeps it up at that level.
What it would amount to though is we'd be making interest payments on more than one vehicle all the time. If we go every 2 years with 4 vehicles. We'll always be,
Which essentially means we're gonna always be raising taxes.
Why can't you just make a lump sum payment and leave a little bit on it, so you're not paying interest on that amount?
pay for half of it so that
Or
you
more
never
than
have
that.
more than,
Right, pay for like everything, maybe $1,000, keep that $1,000 sitting there. You're only paying interest on the $1,000, and you're still within what we talked about the last year. So, you know, pay the majority of, just like buying a house, pay the majority of mortgage, not paying interest on.
Total amount.
And then you just sit there, so you don't pay a penalty for the
Only downside that I can see on it is that if we do that every time that we're purchasing something, say when we had the Cedar Stone and we got those CDs, you do it here, then you're taking away from that money that's been accumulated. Although it should be coming,
Well,
it
we're
should be
hoping
coming
build
back
it
in.
back, because if we pay all the stuff off early, we aren't making payments in the future. We don't know what it's about.
And we're hoping to start the process for the squad car grant next year. So with the length of time that grant takes, they'll pay, it's either 35 or 45% of a new squad car. So that's almost a decent chunk for the next vehicle in 2 years. So there's that information as well. As long as we get approved and the process goes.
Do we owe on any of the other squad right now?
No, we have no payments
we
right
have
now.
a 3-year plan here. In 2 years from now, we're gonna buy another one. We're gonna have 1 year left on this one and 2 years on this one, and then it'll just continue to roll. It'll be a never ending deal. That's just my thought. But I think we should buy.
Well, I agree with you. I think you're 100% right. I mean, I'll make the motion to purchase the vehicle and to purchase it outright.
Unless that punishes us for,
That's the problem with the levy. We levy for that amount. Obviously, this year we can use that levy amount to purchase the vehicle. We would just have to fund the remainder of the amount. But next year, what are we doing with that levy payment? That what we're levying for?
that's your job. You
I
tell me.
know.
Maybe reduce taxes for a change?
I'm not going to. No,
Huh.
our general
What are we
fund,
doing?
we're allowed to go up to 105% every year.
I know.
I would like to keep it to 2 year plan if possible.
Do we know if we're penalized for paying it off early?
I would have to talk to,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
It's a lease, it's not a purchase?
Well, that's the
It-
proposal
they
right now. rather than
Consider it a
purchasing
lease,
outright.
but it is essentially
Yeah,
like a
at
loan.
At the end, it's dollars. Get tight.
That's the way we've done it. Is that the way we've done it with the Exchange State Bank before?
And that's what we do again.
Several times.
Mhm.
And we should get a decent amount of, when we sell these, within reason. We're not gonna sell for $1. Like, for $50, which is gonna be better than trying to get rid of this charge.
The trade-in charge that they're giving us.
It's like 7,000.
Most of the equipment goes with it, or the light bar, which was used, giving us $75.
That's not terrible.
Like $7,499, probably more than what it's worth. I'd say.
What year is that?
I was pretty happy to hear that.
Yeah, what year is that,
What year's
Tim?
the crowd?
What year is that? The Charger, what year is it?
Is it 15?
16.
Well, what makes the most sense?
Well, I
don't
can,
want up on hold as far as ruining things for Sydney down the road here, but I would still like to see.
well, I can talk to Exchange State Bank and see what other options there are. Like if we can move it down to a 2-year, so it's not, so we can have both our levy payments and not have to worry, I don't know. I'll talk to them though, and I can report at the next meeting.
That'd be the best thing to do.
So we don't wanna make a move on it right now anyway?
I
then?
think you should make a motion to approve it,
And
and
we'll vote on it next meeting. on
about how to pay.
Approve how to pay for it later.
I'll amend my motion, purchasing, we'll discuss financing at the next.
Second.
That was made by DJ and seconded by Jimmy. Okay, would you take roll please, Sydney?
Alderman Sanders?
Yeah.
Alderwoman Sunman? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
That's all right.
Gotta get used to it. Alderman Schoen?
No.
Alderman Grove?
Yes.
Alderman Buster?
Yes.
Alderman Chestnut? Thank you. The motion carries.
Okay, moving on to E, consideration and possible action on resolution 21-06, combine electrical loads with neighboring communities and electrical aggregation. This is the one where you guys give me the authority to meet with the mayors and Mike Mudge and go into the best deal that we have for aggregation. It seemed like we had some figures last time.
But they won't give us figures until September. Probably, because that's what it says in that our current one will expire in September, so it's
So when would my meeting with those guys be?
probably not till September, October.
Are we worried about it now then?
They want, I don't know, they
They
called
want a
me,
commitment?
I think so.
I guess all you'd be committing to is to allow me to have a phone conversation online with the different mayors of the cities that we aggregate with. And we wouldn't be committing it to any money at this time or the plans. What he does, he comes up with whoever is in the aggregation companies that would submit their bids for the price of aggregation. And then we generally go through and pick the best company at the lowest price. And if it comes down to a point where it's even with ComEd, we have the alternative to be able to go with ComEd for that duration of time. It doesn't happen very often. They usually come in much lower, and we've always saved a lot of money. So you're not allowing me to spend any money this time. It's just get in the conversation and get the prices of aggregation.
So moved.
I misspoke, sorry, she said that they're hoping to go out for bid sometime in early June.
Oh.
So that's why they want it now.
Okay. So then when he comes up with those, he always brings those bids back to us, and you can look at them before we make the final decision. Motion made by Randy to allow me to sit in that conversation. Seconded by Keith. This is
Yes. Resolution is easy.
okay. All those in favor signify with aye. Pose same sign. This the one?
Yes. Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah, consideration possible action on ordinance 2109, sale of 410 South Division Avenue to Donna Humphreys.
It's a first reading, I forgot to put that on.
Well,
there.
this is the first reading, so any question or discussion on this first reading? Okay, G, discussion on community integration. Cynthia?
Can I stand over there for a moment?
You bet.
Okay. Okay, so, I just want to talk a little bit about community integration. When we bought our house in December of 2017, we kind of, everybody else was watching bought here in Polo. And we fell in love with the community, and of course, we fell in love with the house. It was designed by my favorite architect. And, so when we decided to move here, we decided that we wanted to be active in the community and be part of the community because it was going to be our community. So, it took a while for us to move here, but we became permanent residents in June of 2018. So we've been here 3 years. And I think everybody saw the signs on Charlie's property. It had been for sale, I think since June of 2018. So, kept seeing the signs, and I thought, I'm going to check on it. So I actually went in with the realtor. I viewed it, and within 10 minutes, I realized that this was going to be perfect opportunity to do something with our community. The space was perfect. We decided that we wanted to restore it to the original theater from the 40s, but we know it's going to take about 5 years. There's going to be abatement starting tomorrow. So after viewing it a few more times, and we actually had a meeting with Charlie himself. He was excited about our ideas, and he was on board, and we actually had a signed contract September 25th. We planned on closing within 30 days, but certain things came up during the inspection, like the amount of asbestos that's in the building, and some lead paint, and So it actually took about 7 months to close on the building. We had pickups, plus my dad passed away, so it kind of stalled out. Sorry. So we got back on track in December, and we closed. We closed on that building, and since then we've been cleaning it up and doing a whole lot of work. And like I said, the abatement's starting tomorrow. But we decided that during the time of our restoration, we're actually going to have it set up as a venue. So people in Polo can use it and utilize it for rental space for graduation parties. The bathrooms will be going in. We actually found the original tile to the men's room and the ladies' room. We've also decided, in order to give back to the community, that each year we're going to invite 2 applications. A nonprofit group, liability insurance, and the nonprofit organization carries their tax return up to date. they can apply and they can utilize this space in that time. Rent free utility. Here we've already chosen post Avery American Legion. So they will be, from April to April. They're going to be in our building, rent free, utility free, which is saving them approximately $400 a month. So we're saving them $4,800 a year. And somebody really wants that, and favors can earn. So, you know, I think that's going to help the American Legion get their bank account back up, and you know, we're just really excited to be able to do this. About the process of the application, and plus we're really excited about getting it up and running and operating. So that was it. I mean, we just want to be part of the community, and we want to give back. So, that's it.
Thank you, James.
Oh, and we've named it. We decided on the name. It's called the Honorary Center. So instead of Charlie Pharmacy, it's going to be the Honorary Center.
Honorary?
No, the Honorary. Honorary.
HONORE.
Accent AQ.
Accent.
Cool, thank you. H, consideration and possible action on Brian Diaz's resignation. Guess I need a motion and a second to accept the resignation. By Keith, seconded by Randy. Ayes and ayes.
Roll call.
Roll call, please, Sydney.
Alderwoman Sunman,
Yes.
Alderman Jones,
Yes.
Alderman Grove,
Yes.
Alderman Busser,
Yes.
Alderman Chestnut,
Yes.
Alderman Sanders.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion carries.
Aye, consideration of possible action on additional lifeguards for the polo pool. You had the list in your packets. They've all been approved and interviewed by Kayla and Elizabeth. Has everybody had a chance to meet Elizabeth yet? She's very, very, I don't want to put it, qualified. Quite qualified, yeah, and overqualified even maybe for possibly. I don't know how you can be overqualified and save people's lives, but she is committed to safety. Number one observance is safety, and she is. I think, am I not mistaken? Doesn't she swim Alcatraz every year?
I don't know.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
I think that's the one, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, she puts a wetsuit on, and swims from Alcatraz. I think she does that. I think she does that annually. But I think she's going to be a good one for us. Anyway, we just need a
Did you know
motion.
that she's already scheduled a staff meeting in service because my daughter got pregnant.
Cool.
It's already
Yep.
up and running.
Yep, good. So anyway, we just need a motion to approve those lifeguards.
I'll make a motion to go on it.
Made by Justin,
I'll second that one.
seconded by Beth. All those in favor signify with that. It's just approved, right? We're not talking.
Well,
You're
you're
paying.
hired, you're gonna get paid.
Okay.
This batch, just so you guys know, this batch was all first July. We had already approved return on this.
Okay. Yeah, because they had to be interviewed and screened before before they accepted them for us to approve. So would you take roll, please?
Alderman Jones,
Yes.
Alderman Grove. They should probably abstain. Do you have a family member
Oh,
on the group?
okay.
Alderman Busser,
Yes.
Alderman Chestnut,
Yes.
Alderman Sanders,
Yes.
Alderwoman Sunman.
So,
No.
yes.
Okay, consideration of possible action on Martin's proposal on curb at the Polo Community School District. Sydney, that's something you.
I called Kendall today and he didn't answer. But the school is redoing the sidewalks, and I know that the curb in the high school especially is in
Bad.
yes, it is not good. And Kendall's like, why? We should not let them put in brand new sidewalk and leave not good curb. So this is for the curb at, I believe, the high school, parts of Applington, and then a part at Centennial. And the guys will be removing the curb, like it says excludes the curb removal, the HMA patching. We're not gonna give a permit to ourselves. So it's for the curb from Martin. And anything over $5,000 and under $20,000 has to be approved by the council.
We got a whole ton of places we could do that in.
But these funds will be coming out of MFT. It will not be out of the general fund.
And didn't Kendall save some money on MFT by not seal coating?
We're not going to be seal coating this year, that is correct. So this would essentially, be in place of seal coating.
Is it personal?
Yes, $19,800. We don't get to choose the company because the school, this is through the process of you guys bidding it out, this is the company that's doing your work. So they came to give Kendall the price that we have to pay. So we don't get a choice. This is who the school is using.
Since it's under 20, we don't have to go out for bid, so
Yes,
all we gotta do is
approve it.
approve it to come out of MFT funds.
Well, to approve the proposal.
Approve the
And I don't know if you remember last year at the beginning of COVID, I'd come to a council meeting about that curb. And, oh yeah, we'll fix it, we'll patch up those spots. Well, nothing was ever touched. And it just deteriorated worse and worse as you go down. When it comes to Appleton, I know to make that area ADA compliant with the bus stop. So that's a better grade and turns and things like that. So that's why.
Are they just doing certain areas of it, the bad spots, or are they doing?
So the high school is gonna be the whole thing, the whole front, because if you've ever walked over there, the sidewalk's doing this, and it's doing this, and it's doing this, so that whole thing's coming out.
That's not a terrible price, is it, for what normal?
I just checked in dollars a linear foot for the curve.
And how many feet are there?
It's
655.
linear feet.
And there's no better time than to do it right now.
Well, the thing is, we sit here and keep saying we want to attract young families. We ought to do our part to make the school look good too.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go on the other side here. There is a ton of places in this town, and there's not one person sitting at this council that does not know a lot of places that need paid attention to. We not only need to do this, but we need to come up with a plan to fix a lot of other places.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with that too.
It's
Not just
ridiculous.
curbs, we talk sidewalks, yeah. Sidewalks going to the school, up and down Mason and side streets. It's bad.
Well, maybe it's something we wanna we approve this, maybe it's something we wanna get Kendall on, cause I know he goes around and marks and takes notes of the bad spots. Maybe he can go around and get some measurements and just attack the worst ones to begin with, and then just, just,
There is,
it's still there.
Yeah, but I don't know if people use it though. Don't know.
But only up to the amount that's allocated.
It falls apart.
Right.
It'll go running on those.
It doesn't cover curb, so it
And
just.
I don't think we need to keep providing new sidewalks, but, if you got a spot sticking up 6 inches, and there are spots like that. I mean, my neighbor's house has one.
I think we set barricades on 26 last year.
Do it.
We set barricades at the corner of the doctor's office last year, where there was holes that you look in, there was no bottom.
You guys do mud jacking there? The lift is
It's been
there,
brought up. So,
instead of tearing it out?
you might,
Didn't they do that to your garage?
concrete's in great shape. But it's got a couple little,
Just mud
you know,
jacking.
maybe some sort of rebate for that.
I think a lot of it, but sidewalk is
It's kind of hard to find them anymore.
Some of them
We were
trees
talking
have,
about that.
some of them trees have grown up and heaved them up.
That's what they done to my garage.
Corrected a lot of
Mudjacking.
those areas.
Yeah, they lifted my garage up perfectly straight.
That's one of the reasons all those bushes were pulled next to Appleton, was because it was the root system starting to keep up those other curb sidewalks and things like that. So we had to
Right.
act so that if we're gonna replace this stuff, we're gonna have to.
Let's go ahead and approve this if you wish to,
I
yeah.
got a question, so it's more of a cooperation with the school district where they're gonna take the sidewalks and everything up there.
Mhm.
I just wanna make sure the city wasn't paying for all that.
No, just the curb.
Just a curb.
On the subject of what was done, the work that was done last year, right? It's in a base. Was
That was all I got.
Do they guarantee the work? Because
On
there's
the
a
big
big
concrete,
chunk
Yeah,
missing
near
out
the sign, near
of,
the,
next to where you put all the pinwheels.
yeah, the.
Oh,
park.
there's Paul's Park.
Paul's Park.
It looked like it just popped right off.
Is that-
the handicap ramp right there? I don't,
Sure,
I'll
didn't
take,
get
I'll take
popped.
care of that.
With a snowplow,
If they come back and fix it, looks like it popped off.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's good.
Yeah.
You gonna look at that, Jimmy?
I'll do that. Sorry, I just.
No,
that's
no.
awesome.
So then if we go ahead and move forward on this, then let's go ahead and have Kendall start spotting places and get some kind of a plan on that we could, a long range plan where we gotta start somewhere, so.
I think I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Randy, seconded by Deech. Would you take roll, please, Sydney?
Alderman Jones?
Yeah.
Alderman Grove?
Yep.
Alderman Buster?
Yes.
Alderman Chestnut?
Yes.
Alderman Sanders?
Yes.
Alderwoman Lundman? I'm getting there.
Okay, case consideration possible action on road closure, request from Polo Community School District, Saturday, May 8th from 5 to 7, Union Avenue from King Street to Colvin Street, and Mason Street from Union Avenue to Campbell Avenue. This is for Crown.
Mhm.
And to be a consensus, I don't think, need a motion, just everybody up with that?
Yep.
Okay, is somebody here that's representing them today?
And we usually have Grand March inside, but the street. Going for Grand March outside.
Okay, Yeah.
Committee, that's the plan. We want to close off that section so that family members have unlimited access to get pictures of it.
Yeah.
And play down the sidewalk.
you have our graces. Good luck with that. The city guys will take care of them too, won't
Yeah,
they?
we'll have some barricades out again.
Okay. Any other items discussed? So,
I gotta add, I totally forgot when I was up there that one of the biggest projects that I was excited about, for the honorary was, and I hope we were able to get it done by this May, but that's gonna be possible. And I had spoken to Andy Faber at the high school, before we even purchased it, about getting it ready as a gallery. All the kids all the art students, so they can have their art shows at the gallery, and also invite the kids from the shop and carpentry students to help design and build some of the displays, for the art. And that way their work is also on display, and they take pride in it, and then the community can come in, and, it's up to the kids or whatever they wanna do. I don't know, do they sell their artwork ever? I mean, that's something we can discuss if they want to do something like that, but, so that was my biggest thing that I wanted to do with things. So next year, I think we're gonna get it going, and hopefully, one of the biggest projects that, then it brings in all of the community, and like I said, kids. Yeah, they can be proud of what they did in that kind of setting.
would you be opposed to me and you guys up with Jeff Alfrich from the newspaper? He's been waiting for this, remember?
I don't know, he left us and bring Coro out. I mean, that was just totally skipped us, and I think that was, I am okay with it. I don't care that he, didn't miss in the race. But Jimmy Corno, he put effort into that race, and he wasn't even mentioned. So he was mentioned on our page, though. So my opponent. So I'm sure he's on Zoom.
I know that he was anxious to know what y'all were doing with it, and I stayed neutral and said I wouldn't say
I know, and I
anything
appreciate
until
that.
you made,
We can reach out.
Yeah.
okay? He's got your numbers, right?
No, he doesn't have a, maybe he does now since it's listed as a treasurer, so, you know.
I haven't changed
Yeah,
yet, but
because I corrected him on spelling of Fox. There's an O, Fox in America.
Okay.
Could be another option with the independent art classes, we'll be looking for projects. To do our open community project. I happen to have someone who's going to be a senior next year, so we're probably looking for an independent art project. Another $9.
Thank you, guys. Anybody else? Now I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Oh, a motion to go out of open session into closed session.
So moved.
Motion made by DJ and seconded by, who was it?
I think it was it Justin?
Justin to go out of session.
Alderman Grove?
I believe this part's done.
So.
Am I part of this or no? Okay, good, I have work to do over the building.
Alderman Butler? Alderman Chestnut? Alderman Sanders?
Thanks for giving me that.
Alderwoman Sundman?
Thank you. I've been waiting for you.
A roll call, and a roll call when we get in. Yes.
Always forget.
800.